You're in Braves country.
Good morning, Braves country. Turn that down. We are in desperate times right now in Braves country. We are sitting 4 games out of first place after losing the first 2 games to the Mets. We're dealing with injuries. We're dealing with a bullpen that cannot step up in big situations. Before we get into that, do want to give a congratulations to the Detroit Tigers, Spencer Turnbull, who throws the 5th no-hitter already in Major League Baseball. This is going to lead, unfortunately, to them doing something drastic. Just knowing how Robert Manfred is, he's going to do something drastic. And I think it's as simple as they've got to quit swinging for the fences. The launch angle junk isn't working. There are still guys that are hitting, sure, but the home run rate is not high enough to justify having team. The Seattle Mariners now have a team batting average below 200. This is the second time they've been no hit this year. I get it. Seattle's not one of the favorites to win the World Series by any stretch of the imagination. But it's embarrassing. And you can't keep leading off your shows with, hey, someone threw a no-hitter and think it actually means anything anymore. It just doesn't. I'll still give credence to a perfect game. And don't get me wrong, if Charlie Morton goes out throws a no-hitter today, I'll be happy for him. But it's not the same level of happy I had when Steve Avery threw his no-hitter back in, what was that, like 91 or something like that? It's just it's to the point where a no-hitter is a ho-hum. No-hitters are becoming like triple doubles in the NBA. They're just it's like who cares? It's like the equivalent of a quarterback throwing 3 or 4 touchdown passes in a football game. It's become so commonplace, it's no longer a thing anymore. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I mean, anyways, we'll move on from that. Let's get to the Braves. But my take on no-hitters is they're no exciting anymore. They're just, it's like, all right, whatever, dude. The Braves lose last night, and that was a pretty big L. So many times they came back in, and so many times they were able to tie that game. They were down 2-0. The Villar home run, as a no-doubter. I know they were contributing to wind and whatnot. He absolutely tattooed that ball. We climb back into it after down 3-1, make it 3-2. We tie it in the bottom of the 8th, although a terrible base running blunder by Acuna cost Atlanta a chance of possibly a much bigger inning. And the only reason why I say that is because when the grounder was hit by Freddie, another weak grounder to second base, Acuna's running between first and second. He had a chance to just stop. If he stops because Lindor is chasing the play, Lindor is probably going to go to first in all likelihood. He's going to get the easy out, the automatic out, and then probably they'll throw to second and try to tag Acuna. Just by the way Lindor was positioned. Now, he might have stopped what he's doing, turn around and throws it to second. Regardless, Freddie's going to beat the throw to first. You're not going to get 2 in that situation. But he ran into it because he thought he could be. It was just, oh my God, the base running blunders and the little things that is not taught on a daily basis. And this Snicker is supposed to be the guy that's supposed to do this. He's supposed to be the guy that, look, this guy was in the minors for 40 years. He's supposed to be the guy that can actually teach you the fundamentals. Why the hell are we having an MVP candidate not knowing how to run the bases in a big spot? I know he probably just thought that his athletic ability would take over, but the smart play is to slam on the brakes and make him make a decision. And he's fast enough that if he does try to throw it to first and then tag you at second, Acuna's going to beat that throw. And not to mention, you don't know what kind of melee could ensue because you're assuming a lot that a first baseman is going to make a clean throw to first. So anyways, that in a nutshell, when that happened, Ozuna comes up big with the broken bat single that was huge, ties the game, and then Will Smith once again comes in, and look, the guy's not a closer. He's not a closer. We didn't have a lead. He wasn't going for the save, but he's just not a closer. They've got to find someone that they can trust at the top of their game. They can go in there and get the big outs. And I don't have the answer for you other than maybe once he gets rolling a little bit, I'm starting to think maybe it's should be Chris Martin's or Shane Green's job to lose once they get the rust knocked off of them. Will Smith is not a closer. I think you can still put him in the 7th, 8th inning in a setup role. You overpaid for a setup pitcher is what you did, AA. That's essentially what you did. But he's just, anyways, we'll move on from that. The one thing I will say, the positive take from last night, I liked what I saw out of Tucker Davidson. I felt like he was a guy that had his control. He ended with 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. I like the little hook that he has. He's not going to blow you away with his stuff, but he looks like a polished 25-year-old starter that is definitely ready to contribute long-term to this team. So I feel much better than I did after hearing that Inoa was down for the next 2 months in all likelihood. So hopefully you get Inoa back and he gets back to his form. That's my only concern with Inoa is that he just turned the corner. He gets hurt. When he comes back, is he still going to be what he was? I'm concerned about that. But we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's going to be. You'll have him come back. So you'll have a rotation by the end of July that will look like this, assuming we don't get any more devastating injuries. Max Fried, Ian Anderson, Charlie Mortensen, Inoa, and then possibly either Tucker Davidson sticks into the lineup and you send Smiley to the bullpen, or if Smiley continues to improve, you can keep him there. You might even be able to go to a 6-game rotation, 6-man rotation, which I wouldn't be against because it would give these guys more rest and possibly you get out there. Now, if you're going to have a 6-man rotation, those guys need to go 5, 6, 7 innings every time out. Because if you're going to take a guy out of your bullpen, your long man out of your bullpen, you've got to be able to believe that these 6 guys are going to at least pitch 5 innings unless something dramatic happens. Every once in a while, the guy doesn't have his stuff. We get that. But on a regular basis, he's got to be able to go to the post and give us six easy innings. We're looking for quality starts is what we're looking for, y'all. 6 innings, 3 runs or less. That's what we're looking for in these pitchers. And if we can get to a 6-man rotation, and I know the jury's still out on Smiley. He's looked a little better. He's going to go up against the Pirates tomorrow night. That's not exactly a great litmus test. But look, if he goes in and pitches well, I'll start getting more and more confidence out of him, because the one thing you want out of your starting pitcher, especially a veteran starting pitcher, is that when he does go up against a team like the Pirates, that he does what he's supposed to do. Now, tonight, we have, once again, the Mets are in town. We are on now a 3-game losing streak. Again, I swear these losing streaks are just ridiculous. We're on a 3-game losing streak. And First pitch is 7:20 again because it's in Atlanta. I really wish they would go to 7:05, 7:10. I mean, good Lord, why are we waiting until 7:20? Don't give me that crap about the traffic in Atlanta. Every major city has traffic. Morton is going to go up against Peterson. Peterson's 1-3 with a 4.86 ERA, but he does have nasty stuff. He can go out there. Don't be surprised if he goes out there and pitches 5-6 strong innings. If they can get him out of there, the Braves have a really good chance in this game because they used a bullpen yesterday. It's going to be very difficult for them to go to some of their guys again for a third consecutive night. I don't suspect that the Mets closer is going to be available. They might push him out there, but I would sincerely doubt it because you have to figure you don't typically want to see your closer go out that many times in a row. And of course, he's gotten to save the last 2 nights. And I still think he's a guy that we can get at. I really do. But he's pitched 2 nights in a row. He did not pitch Sunday, by the way, if people are curious about that. The Mets lost, so he was not used. So I guess he could go tonight. But there's some guys that, and I don't know the particulars with him, but there's some guys that managers won't go 3 nights in a row to. So the Braves have an open door to be able to get back within 3 games. You'll look, if you can win tonight's game, you'll take the series and you'll say, look, we lost the series 2-1 at home. You don't like it, but you can't get swept. If you get swept, you're going to be 5 games out. And it's going to leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Charlie Morton was paid $15 million to walk in tonight and stop the bleeding, and that's what he's supposed to do, and that's what he better damn well do. And that's what we're looking at for the Braves tonight. 7:20 first pitch. Let me see a couple other notes that I jotted down real quick. Other than the fact that the bats are just absolutely dead in Atlanta, right when you think they're getting going, you see you see what you see last couple of nights where there's no offense. They've got to get the bats going, and everyone's got to quit trying to hit it out of the park. They get on base and they do this number here, right? So it makes you think that they're get on base and start the merry-go-round. But when you're doing this number here, which, by the way, here's a good tool. They're doing this number like this. Let's go around the bases. Live your motto. Just get on base and start stressing the pitcher out. Swinging for the fence, never stress out of the. What's the old saying? He hit a home run and it killed the rally. Steady diet of bullets in the gap. That's what we need. We need a steady diet of bullets in the gap and quit worrying about trying to hit it out over the moon. All right, that'll about do it for us today on Braves Country Today. We'll be back tomorrow. Once again, please catch the morning show, 8:30 to 9:30. That is YouTube Live. And Armchair Quarterback Show, we kind of talk everything. Also, real quick, if you're wanting to know if we do other shows like this, yes, we do. We do the Neighborhood Play, 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturdays. That's Chicago baseball. And at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, we do the Payoff Pitch. That is a fantasy stat-driven show. So we kind of go, Sean and Steven kind of put their nerd hats on and kind of go deeper into the numbers. So if you're into that kind of thing, we have that as well. And starting Friday, June 4th, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, AL East show. We haven't named it yet, so it'll, for argument's sake, it's an American League East show, but we talking a lot of Yankees and a lot of Red Sox, and of course the Rays. All right, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, and thank you for joining us on Braves Country Today.
You're in Braves Country.